that's the most embarrassing thing for a guy, whether you ladies agree with it.
And the crazy thing is, she did all that for another man and didn't even do it for you.
That's the worst part.
But what if she did that in a different state and then you took her to somewhere that nobody knows her?
So what if you did a whole bunch of promiscuous stuff in a different state? Like, so even that question in itself lets me know that this young woman knows that it's wrong. Because now you're even saying, well, what if all of my dirt was done somewhere else and you won't be around anyone to be able to point it out? You still know that you have a past that is not respectable. And that's mind games. That's word games. Oh, well, I did it in a different state. Doesn't matter. Especially with the internet nowadays, it doesn't matter where you're at. People are going to know you, point you out, and still be able to find you or see you or come across you. And it could be done in a different state, but you still have those promiscuous ways. So those ways are going to follow you wherever you go. But just to think that that was a solution, like in her mind, that was a solution to the problem. Well, what if I did it in another state? You did it, baby. It's in you already. That's who you are already.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
There's no reputation.
It doesn't matter if she did it in heaven or hell. If we find out, she's a dog.
But what about men too? Men strip too.
That's why you
men shake their booty and make men do things.
Men strip. Like some of the rebuttals that they come back with sometimes just let you know. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's certain things that people can say sometimes where you just know based off of a particular comment that there's no talking to this individual. That really you should just unplug the microphones, wrap up the cords, and just pack up all the cameras right now. Like there's no need to even continue the conversation. Like there's some things that people can say that is so wild that you just know, like, yeah, I'm not even trying to entertain you anymore. Like you just keep thinking what you think, do your thing and live your life. But to bring up that men strip, ma'am, yes, yeah, there's men that strip. But once again, we're talking about the dynamic of men doing things versus women. Those men who strip are probably desired by plenty of women to be in a relationship with them still, even knowing that. Even knowing that this man is nasty or vile or whatever it may be. You'll still want to pursue him to be in a relationship with him. And it's not to say that there are not men that wouldn't be in relationships with strippers. But the thing that you have to understand is a lot of men that condone a lot of this promiscuous behavior from women, oddly enough, these aren't the type of men that these women want. And I hate to say this a name call, but a lot of those are simps. A lot of those are dudes who don't put their foot down, who don't conduct themselves as a man. See that, man, it hurts my heart to see men nowadays who try to defend women doing different things that you know women shouldn't be doing. Or a man will say, yeah, well, I don't mind my woman stripping. You know, I'm not insecure. I don't care if she showed this. You're speaking foolishly, brother. You will never make that cool to me. And many other men, you will never make that cool to us. You can try to act as manly as you want about your woman doing all kind of promiscuous stuff that you don't care about. You will never sell that to me as though that's cool. Or like there's no problem with that. I'm sorry. We know better. You have a problem. There's something is wrong with you, and something has happened to you at some point in time in your life to degrade and devalue yourself to where you would allow your woman to do things like that and still accept her into your home and treat her like a princess. And it's either that or you're doing dirt, and so you just feel guilty about the dirt that you're doing, so you don't want to speak on her nastiness or nonsense. But to bring it up as a rebuttal, there's men who strip too. It's like, all you could do is just sigh, like blow your breath out and shake your head at that response. That is a terrible response, honey.
Please don't remember. You don't really care about the man's past.
I know I'm good.
Exactly. And women will tell you that they don't care about a man's past because they're hoping that you don't care about your past. But see, this is like a lot of people who may run their mouth and talk too much. and tell you all their business, tell you all their friends' business, tell you all their family business. Just because you telling me all of your business doesn't mean that I'm going to tell you mine. Yeah, I'll sit there and listen to you because you venting, you talking, or you're going there with it. But don't think that just because you're sitting there telling me all of your business, that now I'm obligated to tell you my business. Like, that's on you. Same as this scenario. Just because women don't care about men's past, don't you ever think that men are obligated to give you that same treatment. We're not. See, a lot of women just care about whether a man can provide, whether a man, what kind of money he's making, how tall he is, how strong he is, how he looks, this or that. That's the things that you all look into. A lot of men, whether you want to accept it, believe it or not, your looks are just a very small part of the puzzle. Most men are looking for decency in a woman, something that they could be proud of. You know, the quote or the phrase, the term, someone that you could bring home to your mama. You can't discount that just because you have lowered your standards as a woman. And women should care about a man's past. You understand what I'm saying? You should. Because people's past are people's behaviors. You're not going to sit there and put your money into an investment that has been failing for the past 20 years. I mean, and it probably wouldn't even last that long if it was failing for the last 20 years, because it would have been out of business. The only business that I know that has been able to fail that long without being torn apart is the WNBA. I had to throw that in there. That's another topic for a whole nother conversation. But that's one of the only businesses in America that I know that has never made a profit and is still in business. And that's only because they're being pandered towards, because these are the type of behaviors that the world has to do towards women, knowing that, like the Bible says, they are the weaker sex, the weaker vessel. There's different benefits given to women out of I don't want to say pity, but kind of out of need, necessity, out of being kind, out of being generous. Certain things that are afforded to women that are not afforded to men. You look at these football leagues that they create, like the little summer leagues and stuff like that. Man, you know how many summer leagues have come and gone, come and went after 1 or 2 seasons of not making money? People like, it's over with. We're canceling that. Shut it down. Yet you look at something like the WNBA, for decades of never turning a profit, and they still have the audacity to call themselves demanding money. And see, a lot of what's going on in the WNBA reflects what's going on in the minds of women. That topic does tie into this topic, because the delusion of women nowadays from social media and from the world and the feminist movement, you're seeing some of the most ridiculous, delusional, insane thoughts and theories from women that you've ever heard in the existence of mankind, due to a privileged mindset. And all of these things are being done. All of these ideas are being given on phones, internet services, televisions, and everything that men have created and built. You only have the ability to say some of the wild, wicked, crazy stuff that you are saying because of the technology that men have built and put into place in your country.
But I'm just saying, you're so convicted with what you say. Like, you say that from the deepest part of your
Yes, because I mean what I
but 9
say.
times out of 10,
Yeah,
it's
of course.
listen,
wrong, it's
I'm gonna keep my
judgmental.
mouth shut
No,
on
it's
that.
speak your
And
mind.
a
This
lot
is
of
not
the times when it
fugazi.
comes down to it, it's half-hearted with a lot of the things that you guys go so hard.
So you said you were going to keep your mouth shut on that, but then you continue to say the statement that you probably should have kept your mouth shut on. But here she is once again trying to tell a man how he feels. She told him, you were so convicted with everything you said. It came from the bottom of your spirit, the bottom of your soul, the bottom of your being. But I'm going to tell you, most times men don't even mean that stuff. So here you are trying to tell a man what matters to him and what doesn't. That's pure arrogance. Talking with your hands, talking with the disgusted facial expressions. It's all just, you're not even giving off the the image or the vibes or the energy of a woman who is wifey material. And like I said, I don't know this young lady. I'm not saying it's just to disrespect her or pick on her, but it's just too many of our women talk, act, and think just like this. And they think that a pretty face is going to override all the red flags that are blazing and on fire and burning coming from them and the words that they speak.
Because at the end of the day, whichever woman catches your heart and really is rocking with you, and you can feel that from the deepest part of where you just said that from, it ain't gonna matter where she came from, bro.
Yes, it
It's
will.
not.
But
That's you.
that's
I'm
you.
telling you.
See, she's trying to tell you, cannot tell us as men what's gonna matter. She's trying to gaslight you and tell you, listen, man, all of your natural instincts to get away from a woman like me, to not take a woman like me serious, to not wife a woman like me. I want you to ignore all of those things and allow a woman to win your heart over with what? I don't know. But now you want to talk about true love. But when men speak to a lot of these women in this day and age about true love isn't going to get the attention of a lot of these women. These women want you to be working a certain type of job, making a certain amount of money, look a certain type of way, be of a certain type of height, be of a certain type of weight. So it's just funny but disrespectful, really, how you want to gaslight and say that now it's just all about love when you women don't operate off of that. We see the interviews and what women, especially of this women of this cloth, what they admire, what they look into. They look for money. They look for status. They look for someone who could put them in a position to be able to show off online, to be able to show off on social media, to be able to show off to their friends, to act like they finally made it. I hit a lick. I'm rich. I got me a good one. And so many of our women look exactly alike. They just look like they all jumped out of the same mold. From the big fake eyelashes to the makeup to... And let me tell y'all something about those eyelashes, ladies. I'm going to just be real with you. Men hate those. No man has ever said that they loved those big fake eyelashes. Once again, you all do that for yourselves and for each other, competing with one another. All of that just shows the marks of a seductress, of a Jezebel, of a harlot. These are all things that come directly from Jezebel. The makeup, just the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, all of these different type of things. There's women that wonder why all the time there are regular looking women who are getting picked up and wifed over all of these quote unquote Instagram models. You spend so much time and effort to make your outer appearance so beautiful when we know your insides and your inner core is rotten. You think we can't see that. Now, are there some men that are going to fall for it and think that they could turn one of these women into a housewife? Of course there are. But even that man, once you get him and start running through him and running over him and walking over him, you're not even going to respect that man. You're not even going to be happy.
I'm not saying, okay, a full-fledged dude, of course you're not going to give that your last name. You're not even going to take...
Okay, so
Bruh,
stripper
stop
too.
it.
That's
I
you.
used to
That's
dance
your
and I've
opinion.
never in my life been
What about a
completely
felon?
nude. Okay? So you're sitting up there
doesn't
telling
matter.
me that I will
Difference.
never
Okay.
be married because of the fact that I used to
So-
dance.
First off, will you never be married? No. There's a sucker born every second, every minute. But I can guarantee you that anyone with good sense isn't falling for you. You're sitting here and trying to play mind games and tell me, yeah, I was a stripper, but I've never been completely new. I don't care. Did you use your body? See, there's some people that when you see what kind of tools they have to bring to work, there's some men who have to bring a hammer to work. There's some people that have to bring a computer to work, a headset, some equipment, a pen, a pad, a school bag with some office supplies in it. There's different tools of the trade. There's some women that are nurses. They have to bring their scrubs to work. They have to bring their doctor equipment to work. If you work in a dental office, you have to, even though I know some of these things are at the office already, but the tools that you need to perform your job throughout the day is some latex gloves, some x-ray equipment, some floss. You're a dentist. You need some floss, some mouthwash, some little tubes of toothpaste that you could give to your clients, customers, whichever you call it, when they leave after their cleaning, after they visit. But you, ma'am, when we look into your bag that you show up to work with, or I don't know what they do, if they have a locker in the back room, the dressing room, whatever. I don't know how that goes in a strip club, but you've only seen movies and stuff like that. But if you have a locker, your tools of the trade are thongs, G-strings, revealing clothes, baby oil, smell good spray, potentially protection, because some of them are selling their bodies on the side. You can't designate the two because, I'm just 1/3 of a stripper. I'm a half of a stripper. I don't fully strip. I'm just a quarter of a stripper. You're a stripper, baby. If where you work at, men come to lust after women, then the equipment that you bring to work every day is your body. If you're willing to do that, if a man comes in with enough money, you are willing to sleep with him. You're not turning that down. You're already degrading yourself. So why would you not do it for something that's actually worth it? Now, you may not do it for a certain amount of money that the next woman would do it for, but you do have a price on your head because you're already paying, someone is already paying to strip away your dignity. So you can't tell that lie, baby.
That sounds
Stop
crazy.
putting words in my mouth.
No, but I'm just saying. But you literally just said, why would I want to give a woman my last name if she's been out there? The last thing a guy wants to do is...
Look, now you see the disrespect and how she's trying to imitate. I told y'all this woman was going to be a problem, that she was going to be disrespectful. You could just tell by certain looks already. But you see how now she's trying to imitate him and talk like how he's talking, or, over exaggerate how he's talking and just be disrespectful. Imagine arguing with this woman at home. Imagine telling this woman something that she doesn't like, giving her an opinion that she does not agree with. And tell me if you think that she's going to handle it like a wife, like a modest, decent helpmeet. Does she look like her husband will rule over her? Does she look like her desire shall be for her husband? Or does she look independent? And when you can tell that they are independent or have that independent type of spirit within them, your best bet is to let them be independent. Leave them alone. Let them be alone.
Know that the girl's been out there with another guy telling
Yes.
Okay.
That's what
Some
we
guys
care
don't even
about.
care about
the same
that.
way you women care about a man having money, being able to take care of you, being competent, being 6'4". We care about a woman's passion, her being sexual and being a whore.
Okay, so you date
we don't
Jennifer
want
Lopez, a Beyonce, all them. They
God,
wear
that's
the
not
same
old man.
thing.
And she has something to say to everything. Why is there no listening to what the man is saying and trying to come to grip or grasp of reality with that? Your mind is made up that you're not going to listen. I just don't care. I don't care what he's saying. I'm going to make my opinion be the right one. Why not just sit and listen? You're not right. You're not a man, and a man is trying to tell you how he feels, what he thinks. And I can see if it was someone who you think doesn't know what they're talking about, but the man is expressing logical concerns, rational rebuttals. And you're just sitting here telling him, yeah, well, that's not right. That's not right. And I don't know who this man is. I don't know if this man is even worthy of having a wife, if he's even attractive as a man to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that every man who's talking, he is husband material. I don't know. Every case is independent. But I'm just saying, based off of what he's saying, he's expressing real, true concerns. But then what she says something about Beyonce, this is another interesting topic, but she wants to bring up Beyonce now.
Instead of being 6'4", we care about a woman's passion, her being sexual and being a whore.
Okay, so you date
like,
Jennifer Lopez, a Beyonce, all them. They wear the same thing and go and perform. Now, okay, just say the stripper is not a stripper. She's an artist, a singer, and
Beyonce to a stripper.
Jennifer Lopez.
Now, see, this is where I'm going to disagree with this brother. He said, I know you're not comparing Beyonce to a stripper. Why not? Why not? And many people right here, this is where I'm going to lose a lot of you all at. But Beyonce is a stripper. She just so happens to be one that can sing very well and dance and do choreography and all that other type of stuff. But Beyonce sells images of sex. Who, as a man, wants their wife to be up half naked on stage, shaking her behind for the world to see, for many men to lust after? If you're going to lust after my wife, you're just going to have to do that through her work clothes. Through the nice, regular things that she wears to her office job or to whatever setting that she works at in her decent clothes. But yeah, if your wife sells sex, sings about sex, and see, too many men, I already know about the women. I'm not even going to talk about them. They treat Beyonce as God, which that's the problem too. A lot of women think that they are Beyonce, or they see the images that she portrays themselves, and they believe that that should be what they're living for as well too, or that's how they're living as well. But yeah, everyone she just named, Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, and J-Lo, I think she's been married multiple times. Beyonce, obviously, we know that she's only on her first marriage, but at the same time, you want to be a sex symbol. You're known for being a sex symbol, for being fierce. And there's many things with her. I'm not even going to get into the whole fact about how she has an alter ego named Sasha Fierce, and that I truly believe that she is influenced and at times possessed by the devil. We're not even going to get into all of that. But I don't need to get into all of that when I already see that you're willing to get up on stage as a mother. Even before you were a mother, it doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't even matter when you're doing it. But on top of that, you're a mother now and still willing to get up on stage and show your behind, show all your legs, show all the top of your breast, show all your behind, twerking and dancing and all that kind of stuff, and just be known for singing about sex and things of that nature that's only made for you to be involved in behind closed doors with your husband. Like, I'm not proud of that as a husband. I don't care how many men lust after my wife and desire my wife. That doesn't make me feel good about it. Like, oh yeah, my wife is out there almost butt naked on stage for the world to see. According to the rules of God, it's incorrect. It's promiscuous. The Bible says that a woman ought to be dressed modestly. That's not modest. I don't care how much she talks about God or the church that she came from or came up in Houston, Texas. I don't care about any of that. I don't see God when I look at you. I don't see a godly woman when I look at you. So I have to disagree with this brother on this one right here. Same as I see men all the time on the street or working out, running around bare-chested with their shirt off, just showing off their body. It's like, brother, put a shirt on. That isn't me being jealous, me being insecure, because I'm not in terrible shape. So I don't have anything to be looking at and being like, oh man, like I'm insecure about that. Like, no, get your workout on. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being strong, being swole, being fit. But dog, put your shirt on, bro. I know even in those men, you just trying to be seen, brother. You trying to be lusted after. You trying to run around here acting like you God's gift to women. God doesn't agree with your lustful behavior either. But see, everyone wants to be able to do whatever they want to do and still get the results that they want. And that's just not life. That's not possible. But yeah, I have to disagree with him on that one. Beyonce, yes, could most definitely be compared to a stripper. Because the type of outfit she has on, a lot of times looks like you could slide some dollars behind her waistline. And you could put some money on her, just like a stripper. Only thing is, you can't touch her because security will crack your skull open. Crack your skull clean open. You get what I'm saying? But you look at her when she first came out with Destiny's Child, they were a whole different type of young ladies. They were wholesome. And I didn't agree with them then because they were still on their way to selling sex. You know, I don't agree with any secular music. But I'm just saying it was less evil than what it is now. It's just full blast Jezebel at this point in time in her career. So I have to disagree with his certain level of simping with that statement that he made. She's right. Ex-stripper 1 point, your boy 1 point. Y'all at a tie right now. You feel me?
Dad was just on the freaking Super Bowl stripping, dancing on a stripper pole. One of the Jenny from the block. Stop playing like.
Come on. You're dancing on a stripper pole in front of the whole world to see at an event where more people watch this event than any other event on television. Why are you that comfortable to show your body to that many people? I have to give it to her on that. And see, this is the type of hypocrisy that where a woman like her could be genuinely confused and say, well, I don't get it. And she has every right to be confused with this because it's like, okay, I'm a stripper, but because I'm not a famous stripper like Beyonce, you're going to look down on me. And it's like, she's absolutely right. They're both doing the same exact thing. See, not everybody's just all the way wrong. Not everybody is all the way right. But she's making a great point with that. And as a man, for him, he could have agreed with that and still kept his argument of everything that he was saying. Because just because a whole bunch of other men are jocked out behind Beyonce or anybody else who is a famous singer who sells their body and is a sex symbol, like just because they all jocked out on it doesn't mean that you have to be. That's them. They don't have, you know what I'm saying, good home training or the proper way to look at certain things. But she has them on this one.
She's not a Beyonce. Okay, so again, but stop playing like she wasn't a Beyonce in her own sense. And I'm not just saying, oh, Beyonce's a stripper, but she still wears that strippers wear.
So let me ask you a question.
Singing songs.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, you guys can sit up there and try and degrade certain situations
First of all,
and look at it as a character flaw because of what? The sexualities are heightened?
So, first of all,
the sexuality is heightened?
A woman stripping she's degrading herself, not me. How can I
that's not degrading yourself.
How are you going to be?
Yes, baby, it is degrading for yourself. It is degrading yourself. See, these are the kind of word games that a lot of women try to play too, especially on YouTube and online nowadays. Women say a lot of stuff that just online I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about the Jezebel type women, the new day and age, like feminist type women. They say a lot of stuff that just really doesn't even make sense. It's a whole lot of nothing sometimes. And it's just like, baby, you're not even making any sense with the things that you're saying. You're trying to justify this behavior so bad. And my daddy always told me, a drowning man will reach for a straw. A lot of these people in these arguments, they'll reach for anything. So now they're trying to say that you all are degrading women. And that's another thing. I despise this to the fullest because I despise it for what it is. It's wordplay. It's word games. When you speak about a certain type of woman and a woman will tell you, oh, you hate women. No, I just don't agree with that type of woman. See, they'll tell you that, but not understand how much you support the decent woman who's out here keeping her clothes on, being a good wife to her husband, being a good mother to her kids. They refuse to understand how much we support those kind of women, how much we would help those kind of women out, how much we applaud those type of women for not taking an easy route. How much we praise those type of women for being beautiful example. Like that's the kind of women that I want teaching my children. I don't want women teaching my kids like these new teachers, wearing skin tight outfits and being young, still seeking attention online. You trying to be a teacher but still want to become famous on TikTok for how you dress going to school. Like you're not even focused. I want a older, more mature lady who's covered up, who is comfortable with herself, comfortable with her role in her household, comfortable with her role in her community, comfortable with her role in her church, comfortable with her role in her family, and doesn't need validation from people online still. I want a woman whose mind is clear, ready to come into the classroom and focus on the children who she's there to teach, and not have her own agendas secretly while she's teaching these children. That's what I want. But she'll sit here and say, oh, you're degrading women who strip. Baby, the degradation has already occurred. When you walked out onto the stage that first time and were nervous, the degradation was already there. Why? Because you knew you were doing something that you weren't comfortable with. The drinks you had to drink before you went out there, moving forward. The drugs you may have had to do moving forward. The lies that you had to tell yourself to buck yourself up and to make yourself not feel as though what you were doing was as embarrassing as what it really was. All those thoughts that you fought against that were really just your true natural instinct saying there has to be a better way. All of those things are proof of the degradation that you had already put into motion when you walked out onto that stage and told yourself, like, I wish I could be doing something else right now. Now, you could do it for so long that you become comfortable with it. And you're able to lie to yourself and say, like, you're not embarrassed about it anymore. You're not ashamed of it anymore. But deep down inside, you know you are. And like I said, I'm not saying this to say that you belong in hell. You don't ever belong. You don't ever deserve to be married. You have no hope for you ever in life. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is stop lying to yourself and trying to lie to other men and make us feel as though we're crazy for what we know is the truth. We don't accept those things as normal. They're not normal. And like I said, I don't want to judge you because I don't know how you've come up. I don't know what you've went through as a child, as a young lady, as a young woman. I don't know these things. So I'm not here to just tell you, oh, you're so wrong and you're evil and you're going to hell. But what I'm telling you is you're not right about how you're trying to paint the picture of yourself. You have to stop making these excuses. But for her to say that you're degrading us, no, now you're playing the victim. You're doing something that is flat out wrong. And you want us to feel wrong for knowing that it's wrong. I know there's plenty more to this video, but I'm just going to stop right here for now and shut it down. And, you know, I may dive into the rest of it and see what else that they're talking about and see if there's some other things that I want to respond to. But just for the start, I don't know. I don't want to do a lot of these videos because then it really comes off looking as though you're just trying to pick on women. But I just want to be, I'm using this for multiple purposes. First off, I'm trying to just be able to speak to any women out here who are looking at these videos, just thinking that these type of lifestyles are okay and that men are not going to look at me any differently if I do this or I do that or I involve myself in this or that. That's a lie. That's false. I'm here to tell you that that's false. But for men as well, men need to know how to pick better mates. See, a lot of men are just grabbing any old type of woman thinking that they're going to make something out of her. And it's like you're ignoring all of the wrong signs ahead of time to even be able to see the type of trouble that you're about to get yourself into. Or to even see the money-hungry individual that you are about to entertain. Or attention-thirsty. So, like I said, we'll get back into this video potentially, maybe at another time. But I just wanted to speak on that for now. And you can see how, for this most part, though, She's been dominating the whole conversation. The other young lady all the way to the left, she put her 2 cents in. But for the most part, the young lady all the way to the right, she's been the only one just kind of holding the torch, carrying the torch for this whole false movement of, being able to be involved in sex work, but still be respected. And I told you, many of our women nowadays, that's what they want. They want to be able to be hot girls and hot girl summer and have everyone lusting after them, but then they still want the respect, some of them, of being housewives, of being mothers, of being someone who was looked at as an asset to the community, as an asset to our children. I mean, as of right now, if you're promoting sex work and you're promoting being able to be looked at equally as other decent women, you're not adding any value to our community. And that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about individuals' lives, their personal lives, their family, their household lives, and that of our community. To be able to teach people the ways of God, the ways of Jesus Christ, to be able to look at things in the proper manner. I see some people are going to hear this and they're not going to be emotionally mature enough or strong enough to just take that lick and to say, yeah, I've done some things that I should not have done. I need to really take some time to change my image, to change my way of thinking. Some people don't want to do that work. Some people really don't want to put in that effort to do the work. So they would rather put in the effort and the work of trying to change the mind of everyone else and the way that everyone else looks at the things that they've done. And that's just not how it goes. But till next time, y'all. 1.